The stars above Earth dimmed as an enormous shadow crept across the sky. One by one, pinpricks of light vanished, obscured by a colossal alien fleet emerging from warp speed into Earth's orbit. The sleek, silver ships of the Thrum Empire numbered in the thousands, their hulls glinting ominously as they blocked out the familiar night sky. On the surface below, a hushed panic swept across the globe. The United Earth Defense scrambled into high alert, bracing for the first strike. But none came. Only a message broadcast directly into the minds of humanity. Inhabitants of Earth, we are the Thrum. Your planet now belongs to our great empire. Surrender and submit, and your lives will be spared. The transmission carried with it an overwhelming psychic weight, pressed upon the minds of all who heard it. An unspoken threat lingered beneath the demand for surrender. The initial shock rapidly gave way to a tense calm. While civilians panicked, Earth's leaders came together in an emergency council. Military commanders advised immediate retaliation, but the diplomats cautioned patience. War was certain defeat, they argued. Humanity needed time to ready its defenses. And so the Secretary of Earth approached the communication console and sent a return transmission to the Thrum fleet. Esteemed Thrum, planet Earth welcomes you in peace. We wish to avoid bloodshed. Let us negotiate an understanding between our peoples. The Thrum did not respond, but the humans had bought themselves time. In secret bunkers across the world, scientists and engineers worked feverishly on countermeasures to Thrum technology. As humanity held its breath, hoping for peace but preparing for war, little did they know their response had already sown the seeds of the Thrum Empire's downfall. The invaders had made first contact, but soon they would regret it as their last mistake. The heavy transport ships breached Earth's atmosphere, descending on pillars of flame towards the surface below. As the landing gears extended with a hydraulic hiss, the vessels touched down on soil untouched by alien feet. The troops of the Thrum Empire had arrived. From the lead transport emerged Commander Vort, leader of the ground invasion forces. Vort was a veteran of a dozen campaigns of conquest, a stern and disciplined officer. He expected treachery and violence from these humans. Yet as the troops disembarked, the landing zone was silent and still. Not a single Earthling in sight. "Where is their army?" Vort grumbled to his subordinates. "Why do they not defend their world?" The lack of resistance unsettled him. Nevertheless, Vort gave the order to advance. The Thrum platoons marched forth, weapons ready for the first sign of an ambush. But there was none. No defenses, no attacks, no anything. Just empty streets and vacant buildings. Finally, a lone Earthling emerged holding a sheaf of papers. "Greetings," he said with bureaucratic cheer. "Are you the commander of this, invasion force?" Vort bristled at the impertinence. "I am Commander Vort of the Thrum Empire. You will submit to our rule immediately." "Very good, sir," said the man. "You'll just need to complete these forms first. Let's see, a temporary invasion permit, credentials for all personnel, an environmental impact review." "Forms," said Vort. "Permits? What madness is this?" But there was no arguing with the Earthling bureaucracy. Every step of the Thrum invasion became bogged down in paperwork. Troop movements required approved travel plans with multiple copies. Weapon discharges needed prior authorization in triplicate. Even routine duties required ID badges, progress reports, and proper procedures. The Thrum forces soon found themselves utterly ensnared in red tape. Their military discipline was no match for the chaotic tangle of human bureaucracy. What was supposed to be a grand conquest turned into a comedy of errors. Watching his mighty plans unravel, Vort could scarcely believe it. In all his years, he had never encountered a race so bewilderingly absurd. Surely this was the height of folly, to overestimate the humans so. The Thrum invasion continued to falter in the face of Earth's unexpected resistance. While the humans appeared technologically primitive, their planet's chaotic nature confounded the rigid Thrum military at every turn. Freak windstorms scattered Thrum bomber squadrons, their precision formation disrupted by unpredictable turbulence. Dense fogs concealed human guerrilla fighters, who ambushed Thrum patrols and vanished like ghosts. Torrential rainstorms shorted power systems, and washed out encampments, forcing miserable Thrum troops to take shelter from the unrelenting downpour. The wildlife proved even more bewildering. Aggressive avian creatures harassed Thrum mechanized columns, pecking at eyes and sensors. Miniature insects infested troop barracks and food stores, driving the fastidious Thrum to distraction. Stealthy feline predators stalked isolated Thrum scouts, dragging them into the underbrush with frightening animal cunning. Meanwhile, in a secret facility, Earth's greatest scientific minds gathered. They were an eccentric bunch, these shaggy-haired geniuses and wild-eyed inventors from around the globe. Their unconventional theories and radical notions had long been ignored or dismissed. But with Earth's survival at stake, they were now given free rein to devise countermeasures to the Thrum's advanced technology. Their solutions were ingenious in their simplicity and absurdity. Reflective tinfoil balloons confused Thrum targeting systems. Bottle rockets intercepted Thrum fighter craft, shorting their electrical systems. Garbage and debris were repurposed into makeshift weapons and traps, befuddling their orderly adversaries. Laughter echoed through the bunker as each new, ridiculous idea bested the humorless Thrum. The Coalition's efforts highlighted something the aliens failed to understand about humans. When faced with adversity, Earth's unconquerable spirit would rise to meet the challenge with creativity, humor, and grit. A curious change came over the junior Thrum soldiers as the invasion dragged on. At first baffled by Earth's resistance, they slowly grew fascinated with human culture. The art, music, food, entertainment, it was all so chaotic, colorful, and bold compared to the regimented Thrum homeworld. Secret stashes of Earth music and movies circulated among the troops. Makeshift Earth cuisine was concocted from available ingredients, to the delight of Thrum taste buds. Graffiti art and wild fashion began to appear on uniforms and equipment as the young Thrums emulated Earth style. Their orderly conformity was breaking down in the face of such cultural temptations. Seeing this, Earth Defense launched a new kind of counteroffensive, not with weapons but with culture. Loudspeakers blasted Earth music towards Thrum encampments. Leaflets rained down from the sky featuring famous works of human art. Care packages were left just outside Thrum patrol routes, loaded with chocolate, alcohol, and more exotic earthly pleasures. Caught off guard, the austere Thrum commanders were helpless to stop the hedonistic fraternization. Discipline collapsed as soldiers danced to rock and roll, discussed abstract art, and got drunk on liquid intoxicants. The invasion turned into a giant chaotic party. All thoughts of conquest were forgotten in the haze of music and revelry. Confused and disoriented, the Thrum soldiers began to question their mission. These humans were nothing like the brutes they had been told about. The Empire had gravely underestimated both Earth's military ingenuity and its cultural influence. Faced with the onslaught of human creativity and joy, the Thrum ranks broke down in an unprecedented wave of peace and brotherhood. Commander Vort surveyed the ramshackle camp in disbelief. Just months ago, it had been an orderly Thrum military base. Now it was a chaotic mess of drunken, dancing soldiers, the remnants of their uniforms adorned with human clothes and graffiti. Earth music blared from improvised speakers as makeshift multicolored lights flickered erratically. The invasion had become a farce. With a heavy heart, Vort contacted the Thrum High Command. "My superiors no won't irritate," he said. "I regret to report that we have failed. This world cannot be conquered." He outlined the stubborn human resistance, the power of Earth culture, and the low morale of the troops. "We must withdraw with dignity and leave this planet in peace," he concluded. To his surprise, the High Command agreed. "Perhaps we misjudge these humans," the Supreme Commander conceded. "They are more resourceful than we anticipated, and their spirit is indomitable." The order was given. The Thrum forces would withdraw unconditionally from Earth space. As the Thrum fleet prepared to depart, now littered with Earth decorations and rocking to blasting pop music, Commander Vort met with Earth's leaders. "You have given us more than we bargained for," he admitted with grudging respect. In return, he offered an artifact of Thrum technology, a force field generator to protect Earth from future invasion. Vort took one last wistful look at the vibrant planet that had confounded his people so. The humans had emerged victorious, but there was no ill will. As the Thrum ships vanished into the stars, humanity celebrated their newfound friendship with their one-time enemies. Earth had not been conquered, but liberated, enriched by this cultural exchange to spread peace through the galaxy.